Hello dear students and welcome to the physics lecture. In today's lecture we are going to discuss about some next topics from the chapter number 13 AC circuits. In the previous topic we have seen about what is the AC circuit and how we can connect the inductor and a pure capacitor, inductor and pure resistor to the AC circuit. In today's lecture, first of all, how the inductor behaves like a resistor, so we can draw the formula for the effective opposition offered by the inductor. If you see what is the equation of E, the equation of E was omega L I naught cos omega t. When the E becomes E max, or we can call the peak value of EMF E naught. For peak value of EMF, the cos theta must be equals to 1. When the cos theta is 1, then E becomes E max. Then the equation for E max becomes omega L I naught. If you are sending the I naught to the left side, then E naught upon I naught is equals to omega L. Comparing this equation with the Ohm's law, then V upon I is equals to R. So here the role of the R, that is the resistance, is played by the omega L. So we can write here the effective resistance by the inductor. The effective opposition to the current by the inductor is given, denoted by XL, is given by omega L. So it is like a resistance. If you put the value of omega, then it is 2 pi f into L. Now how we can derive the value of omega as a 2 pi f? Then omega is 2 pi upon t. If you put the value of reciprocal of the period is the frequency, then omega becomes 2 pi f. If you put the value of omega as a 2 pi f, then the effective opposition offered by inductor is given by 2 pi fl. From this we can conclude that the opposition will be directly proportional to the frequency and inductance of the inductor. For the DC circuit, this is only applicable for the AC circuit. For a pure DC circuit, the frequency of the current and the EMF is 0. Therefore, effective opposition will be 0 by the inductor. So, the inductor is only applicable if the applied EMF is the alternating one. Otherwise, for the DC, the frequency is 0. So, the inductor opposition will be 0. Now, the next topic is voltage, AC voltage applied to the capacitor. First of all, what is the capacitor? Capacitor is the device which stores the energy or which stores the charge. To store the charge, we use the capacitor. How is the construction of the capacitor? If you look at the construction of the capacitor, then the capacitor is like a parallel plate capacitor. Then there are two metal conductors or two metal plates are separated by some insulating material or by the space. Then all the positive charges will be accumulated to the one plate and all negative charges will accumulate to the other plate. The negative plate is also connected to the ground, is grounded, because the induced positive charges will ground directly, so we can avoid the several shock. So this is the construction of the capacitor. If we are connecting this capacitor to the AC circuit, then what will happen? These capacitors are used to store the charge, used to store the energy, used to store the potential difference. What will happen if we are connecting the AC circuit to the pure capacitor? So we are connecting capacitor, the plate size is same to the AC circuit of alternating EMF, E is equals to E naught sin omega t. So this is the capacitor which is connected to the AC circuit one. How we can derive the equation for it? So from the equation of the capacitor, we have V is equals to Q upon C. How we can write the same formula for induced EMF? We can write E is equals to Q upon C, where C is the capacitance of the circuit. Therefore, Q becomes E into C. What is the, if you are taking, put the value of E from the given, then Q becomes C. E is E naught sin omega t. Take the derivative on the both sides, then we can write dq by dt is equals to d by dt C E naught sin omega t. If you take the derivative, then what is the derivative of dq by dt? Rate of flow of charge. Dq by dt is nothing but the current. Current is equals to, what is the common constant term? E naught. Then we take the omega outside. Then derivative of sin omega t. Then what will be the next equation? We can write the next equation. I is equals to E naught omega. Derivative of sin omega t is cos omega t. How would one can write the same equation in terms of the sign? Then we can also write the same equation in terms of the sign. How we can write? Then I is equals to E naught omega sin omega t plus pi by 2. How we can write the same equation in terms of the sign? Then we have to consider the angle 90 degree in the omega t. If you are comparing these two equations of the applied EMF and the current, then what we can conclude that? We can conclude that the current leads the EMF by the angle of 90 degree, or the EMF is lagging behind the current by the angle of 90 degree. If you plot the graph of E and I, EMF and current with respect to time, then how we can plot the graph? If you plot the graph of EMF or current with respect to time, then the nature of the graph, the EMF will start from the origin because there is a sin omega t. But what about the value of current? The value of current is already high. At the origin, the value of current is maximum. So this would be the nature of the graph. If we plot the graph of I and E, this is the peak value of current, that is I naught, and this is the peak value of the EMF E naught. So we can conclude that the EMF EMF lagging behind the current by the phase of 90 degree or pi by 2, or current leads the EMF by pi by 2 angle. Now the next, how the opposition offered by the capacitor to the flow of current, then the capacitor also plays the same role as that of the resistance. Then if we look at the equation of the, if we look at the equation for the maximum value or maximum value of the current, I becomes I max. If you look at this equation, then when the current becomes maximum, that is the peak value of current I naught, when cos omega t becomes 1. When cos omega t becomes 1, I becomes I maximum. We can write the equation for maximum, that is a peak value of current, as I naught is equals to E naught omega. E naught omega. So I naught we can write as E naught omega. Actually, the equation for the, again we'll go for the initial part of the topic. If you look at the equation for the Q is CE, if you put the value of EMF, then it is C E naught sine omega t. This is the value of charge. If you are taking the derivative, then I is equals to C E naught omega cos omega t would be the value of the derivative of Q is I, and derivative of sine omega t is. When the current becomes maximum, that is the peak value of current, and it is denoted by I naught when the cos omega t is 1. When the cos omega t is 1, then what will happen? I becomes I is equals to C. So I becomes I naught, that is the peak value of current, is equals to C. It is actually capital C E naught omega. If you compare the equation with the standard equation of Ohm's law, then what happens if you are sending the I naught here, then E naught upon I naught becomes 1 upon omega C. If you compare this equation with Ohm's law, then what is the equation of Ohm's law? V upon I is equals to R. So the 1 by omega C played the same role which is played by the resistance in the resistive circuit, that is a opposition to the flow of current. So this is called opposition offered by capacitor, or it is also called as capacitive reactance. Capacitive reactance is the opposition by the capacitor to the flow of current. So it is given by 1 by omega C. As in the previous topic we have seen, what is the omega? Omega, the value is given by 2 pi f. If you write the formula, then it is 2 pi f C. So the capacitive reactance, that is the opposition offered by capacitor to the flow of current, is inversely proportional to the frequency, and it is also inversely proportional to the capacitance of the capacitor. In the same manner, what happens if we are connecting all three together in series with the AC circuit? If you are connecting inductor, capacitor and resistor to the AC pure circuit, then what happens? Now this is the next topic, LCR circuit. What will happen if you are connecting the inductor, capacitor and resistor to the AC circuit? So LCR, L means inductor, C means capacitor and R means resistor. These all three are connected to the AC. Now what is the applied EMF? The value of the applied EMF is E naught sine omega t. If you plot the graph, that is a phasor diagram for EMF applied by the inductor, EMF of the, or the EMF RMS value of the voltage for the inductor is EL, RMS value of EMF for capacitor is EC, and RMS value of the resistor is ER. Then if you plot the graph of EL, EC, ER with respect to current, then how we can plot the graph? The graph for it we can plot as a EL, here I, or ER is also on the same, but the AC is towards the down. Now what is the reason why only the EL is towards the positive side and why the AC is downward, and why ER and I on the same axis X? Because the reason is EMF ERMS, that is the RMS value of the EMF for inductor, leads the current by 90 degree. So we have plotted it on the along the positive Y axis. RMS value of the EMF for capacitor lagging behind the current by 90 degree. So we have plotted the value of EC along the negative Y axis, but ER and I are in same phase with each other. Therefore we have plotted both on the same axis. How we can write the values of the, according to Ohm's law, V is equals to IR. In this circuit also we can see the inductor, capacitor and resistor. Inductor, capacitor and resistor are connected in series. Therefore the value of current in this case would be same. But how we can write the values for EL, ER and AC here? For EL we can write I is same. The value of inductor reactance, inductive reactance, that is the opposition offered by inductor, is XL. How we can write it for the AC? Then it is I same XC. And how we can write it for the resistor? Then I R. Now what about the resultant in this case? How we can draw the resultant for EL, ER and EC? Then we can draw the value of resultant here, that is E, but the E would be shift towards the EL because EL is greater than EC. Therefore we can write, or the resultant would shift towards the EL. If you complete the diagram, then what will happen? We can complete the diagram here. What about this value becomes? This would be EL minus EC would be the value of this, because EL is greater than EC. So the resultant will shift towards the E, and here the angle, if you consider as a phi, then from the phasor diagram, that is this diagram is called phasor diagram, where all are plotted in the diagram. From this diagram, how we can write? If you apply the Pythagoras rule to this triangle, then this is EL minus EC, then automatically the opposite side would be EL minus EC. If you apply the Pythagoras rule, then how we can write? E square is equals to ER square is one side, and the second side is EL minus EC bracket square. Put the values of EL, EC and ER here. What will happen? ER is IR bracket square plus what is EL? EL is IXL minus EC is IXC bracket square. Then what is the common term? I square is common. In bracket here R square is the remaining term, and here XL minus XC bracket square is the remaining term. If you are taking the square root on the both sides, what will happen? If you are taking the square root, then E is equals to I. Here we have to write this term into the square root. Then we can write R square plus XL minus XC bracket square. Now this term which is present in the square root is denoted by capital Z. What is capital Z? Capital Z is nothing but under root R square plus XL minus XC bracket square. This is called impedance of the circuit, impedance is nothing but the resultant or the total opposition offered by resistor, inductor and capacitor is called impedance of the circuit. So this is the equation for impedance. What is the unit of this impedance? The unit of the impedance is ohm. Also the unit of the XL is ohm, XC is ohm, because all these three plays the same role. That role is opposition to the flow of current. Therefore impedance means this value, the resultant opposition offered by inductor, capacitor and resistor, and the unit of this impedance is denoted by ohm. So this is about the combination of the inductor, capacitor and resistor. If you are connected these all together, then the resultant opposition offered by all these three is denoted by Z, and the equation for Z becomes under root R square plus in bracket XL minus XC bracket square. The unit for XL is ohm, the unit of XC is ohm. Similarly, the unit of impedance, that is a Z, that is the opposition of all three, is also denoted by ohm. So this is about the topic in the AC circuit. Till now we have seen if the capacitor is connected to the pure AC circuit, how the equation of EMF and current becomes. If the resistor are connected to the pure AC circuit, how the value of current and EMF becomes. And at the end, if all these three, that is the inductor, capacitor and resistor, are connected to the AC circuit, then how the opposition would take place. Capacitor and inductor are only applicable if the circuit is pure AC circuit.